Bud's done and say, all right, let's see what happens. That's the excitement of sports. People want to see greatness, and they want to see greatness go against other greatness and see who wins.
And he ain't gonna change it up, but he's mastered it. Like, he understands what's going on in the ring at all times. I just don't see Terrence beating him. I don't.
Tom Brady shakes up the boxing world with a bold take on the Canelo versus Crawford mega fight, questioning who truly deserves greatness. Tom Brady didn't hold back when he gave his opinion on the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Appearing on Ring Magazine's The GOATS podcast alongside major names like Shaquille O'Neal, Dana White, and the two fighters themselves, Brady delivered a passionate take. He stressed how this bout is exactly what sports fans live for. Two of the greatest of their era finally clashing in what could be a generational event.
Big kudos to him.
Yeah, I think for any sports fan, you want to see the best fight the best, you know, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. You know, I think that's what UFC's done such a great job. When I look at the NBA, you know, it's the great teams against the great teams. It's the great fighters against one another. And then that
Brady believes that watching top-tier athletes challenge each other is the very heart of competition, no matter the sport. That sentiment set the tone for a heated discussion around a fight that has the boxing world completely split.
brings everyone's attention to it. And that's what you want to see. You want to see the best in what's been accomplished and what he's done and what Bud's done, and say, all right, let's see what happens. That's the excitement of sports. People want to see greatness, and they want to see greatness go against other greatness and see who wins.
This blockbuster bout is set for September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, aligning perfectly with Mexican Independence Day weekend. The event is being touted as one of the biggest ever, featuring two of boxing's finest going head-to-head for the Ring Magazine Super Middleweight Championship.
What I want from you to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September.
With Netflix on board to stream the bout during primetime, fans around the globe will be watching the drama unfold under the Vegas lights. Turki Al-Sheikh was quick to shut down earlier confusion stirred by Oscar De La Hoya, who had claimed the fight would happen during the day. Turki made it clear that this fight is happening when the world is watching, and anything else was just noise.
Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
Though UFC CEO Dana White is overseeing the bout, fans were stunned when he missed the first official press conference. However, he reappeared in New York just in time to help cool tensions when Canelo and Crawford met face-to-face again. The stare-down almost escalated, but White's presence ensured things stayed just inside the line of professionalism. It's clear that emotions are already running high, which only adds more anticipation to what's coming. During the New York press conference, Dana White, who is also helping promote the event alongside Turki Al-Sheikh, revealed that the victor of the fight will receive a performance bonus exceeding 6 figures. This sparked fresh excitement among both fans and fighters. The news stood out especially because UFC performance bonuses are usually around $50,000, making this reward more than twice the usual payout.
Performance bonus that night is going to be over 6 figures. We're still talking about it, so yeah, it's going to be a big number. Whoever wins the performance bonus of the night that night.
Moving on, Crawford, who has already made history by conquering multiple weight classes, is hungry to add another milestone to his legacy. He made it clear during interviews that he's determined to silence those who doubt he can handle a challenge like Canelo. The Nebraska native acknowledged that Alvarez might be a Hall of Famer and one of the best ever from Mexico, but he warned that the Mexican star will be walking into a fight unlike any he's had before. Crawford doesn't underestimate Canelo, but fully intends to push him to his limits.
Of course, I don't have to have enough power to hurt him. I just gotta beat him. That's it. If he slip up, then, you know, he will get hurt.
Canelo, on the other hand, understands the weight of the challenge, but remains confident. He called this the biggest fight of his career, which says a lot considering his resume already includes legendary bouts. For him, this is not just about legacy, it's about showing that he still reigns supreme at the highest level of boxing. While there's clear respect between both fighters, neither plans to leave anything behind when the bell rings.
You know, I've been in this sport like so many years. I've had so many good fights in my career, and I had the experience to adapt myself to these kind of fighters. I fight everybody out there, every style, and I'm gonna do my job and put all my experience, all my talent there, and that's it.
And speaking of experience, he also has experience.
Yeah.
What can you do that 41 other fighters could not do?
You know, I'm different. I'm an elite fighter. So that's the difference, big difference.
What's refreshing about this rivalry is the mutual respect both men have for one another. Crawford openly admired Canelo's career and the way he carries himself both in and out of the ring. He emphasized that there is no personal animosity. This is purely business.
You know, so all that smaller fighter and I'm the bigger fighter, that goes out the window when you got skills. You know, but Canelo, he's a tremendous fighter. He's got the skills, the experience, the power. He got everything. That's why it's so intriguing. Everybody want to know, can Terrence Crawford take Canelo power? Can Terrence Crawford deal with Canelo pressure? Can Terrence Crawford deal with Canelo's body attack and his experience? And that's why everybody want to see it, because they know how great Terrence Crawford is, but they don't know how great Terrence Crawford is at 168. You know, we know what Canelo brings to the table, but nobody knows what Terrence Crawford is bringing to the table at 168, and that's why the fight is going to be so intriguing.
He's handled previous rivalries, like the one with Errol Spence Jr., with a similar mindset. Crawford had always been a fan of Spence, even before decisively beating him, and he believes people often try to create conflict that doesn't really exist. His focus remains on proving his ability in the ring, not feeding unnecessary drama.
This is the biggest fight of my career. We all know that. It's no secret. You know, I'm fighting a Hall of Famer, one of the best Mexican fighters that come out of Mexico. You know, so the respect is there. You know, and I understand the magnitude of the fight, and I'm gonna give my all.
Opinions about the outcome are sharply divided, and boxing personalities have not shied away from weighing in. Ryan Garcia, in a recent interview with Ak and Barack, confidently backed Canelo. He doesn't see Crawford being strong enough to handle a fighter like Alvarez. Garcia pointed out that Crawford didn't look particularly dominant against Madrimov, and argued that Alvarez's mastery of ring craft and awareness makes him nearly impossible to outsmart. According to Garcia, Canelo's deep understanding of timing, distance, and pressure will be too much for Crawford to overcome.
He can't beat Canelo. Nah, no way. I mean, I don't see him beating Canelo. He didn't even look that strong against Madrimov, to be honest. And Madrimov's not even a big.
Yeah, different style though. Madrimov has a jerky
different style, yeah, but
in and out, count him, punching, hard to time.
The thing with Canelo is he's mastered his style.
Teddy Atlas, a highly respected boxing trainer and analyst, offered a contrasting view. He placed his trust in Crawford's intangible qualities. While acknowledging that both fighters are phenomenal, Atlas leaned heavily toward Crawford, saying that the undefeated American simply has that rare combination of mental strength and elite talent. In Atlas's view, Crawford's refusal to accept defeat, both mentally and physically, is what sets him apart. His pick wasn't just about skills, it was about believing in the kind of fighter who hasn't yet discovered how to lose.
I think you know where I'm leaning, and I'll make it even clearer where I'm leaving. So there isn't a lot of suspense. I ain't going against Crawford, okay? I do think he's that special guy. I think Canelo's special too, but I think Crawford's special in a little bit, even more so. Even more so. He hasn't learned how to lose yet. I think he does have those special ingredients that go beyond the physical genetics, the physical DNA. So that's it, okay? Good. You don't like it? too bad.
Another important voice in the mix is Sergio Mora, the former WBC light middleweight champion. Mora provided a breakdown based on recent performances and physical observations. Interestingly, Mora suggested that Crawford may actually appear bigger than Canelo right now, in terms of build and presence. He also believes Crawford has been putting on weight in the right way, bulking up with discipline and focus.
So you'll be there. Talk to me about what happens in that fight.
Hey, listen, man. For a long time I kept saying, a great big man will beat a great small man. That's just how it is in boxing. But after Canelo's last performance, like many people, man, he struggled against a guy in cutting off the ring, a longer guy that wasn't trying to make it a fight.
However, despite his praise, Moore still leans toward a Canelo win, though by decision, not domination. He noted that Canelo is beginning to show signs of wear after a long and intense career that started when he was just 15. His performance in recent bouts showed some slippage, especially when trying to cut off the ring against longer, more evasive opponents.
And Canelo has lost a step. Let's keep it real. Yes. He's a man with over 65 fights. He's been fighting professionally since he was 15 years old. Yes. There's wear and tear. There's injury. He can turn old overnight. Yes. And believe it or not, he's younger than Crawford.
Moore admitted that Crawford at 37 could also age overnight in this high-stakes clash, but he doesn't carry the same kind of career mileage that Canelo does. For that reason, Moore predicts a competitive bout that could go the distance. While he expects Crawford to inflict some damage and force Canelo to dig deep, he ultimately believes Alvarez will edge out a victory on the scorecards. The Mexican warrior may leave the ring bruised and battered, but Moore sees him surviving and emerging with the win.
Crawford doesn't have those miles. Crawford's 37 years old. He can turn old overnight, but I still like Crawford, man. He's just a mean dude. He's been bulking up nicely, doing it the right way. He looks bigger. He looks bigger than Canelo right now as far as like height, the shoulders. I think it's going to be a decision type fight. I think Crawford's in this fight, and I don't think Canelo leaves unscathed. I think he'll leave a little bruised and beat up, but he'll still win the decision.
The fight isn't just drawing opinions from fighters and trainers. The overall buzz from fans, analysts, and insiders suggests a unique level of excitement. What makes this event different is how many people believe either man could realistically win. That uncertainty creates a rare kind of anticipation.
Just ready. I'm ready to go, train, and just prove the world wrong. Like I've been doing my whole career. All the doubters and the naysayers and the people that think I can't accomplish what I set my sights on to do. And I don't know about Canelo, but I know come fight time, he gonna be in a fight that, he wasn't gonna be expected.
There are no gimmicks, no manufactured rivalries, just two elite boxers with strong legacies and something to prove. Crawford wants to show he can conquer yet another division and topple one of the most successful fighters in modern boxing. Canelo, meanwhile, wants to remind the world that he's still the top dog.
So he wasn't commercialized, he wasn't great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Poster in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite?
Ricky Burns doesn't elite.
Okay.
He's not elite.
It's cool. Well,
is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite.
There is a champion.
September.
Good fighters, but elite fighters is different.
Wait. So I'm going to fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
we're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter, but are you gonna find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because it's gonna be the last. That's for sure.
It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look my career, never the same after me.
Canelo's recent performances have fueled debates about whether he's still in his prime. Froch highlighted this, pointing out how lackluster Alvarez looked in his last fight. He emphasized that Canelo no longer seems motivated unless the stakes are massive. Froch implied that Alvarez appeared disinterested, opting for safe strategies that ensured a win on the scorecards rather than chasing an impressive finish.
This is a guy that Terence Crawford's taken on, really, that's just a lot bigger, a lot stronger. He's got more experience, and it's an exciting fight, and I can't wait to see how Crawford attempts to deal with Canelo Alvarez up at this weight. It's going to be fascinating because you would think on paper he's just not big enough, and he's obviously that good. He will obviously make a fight of it. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say Canelo Alvarez is a strong favourite. And I wouldn't have thought that Terence Crawford would have put himself in a position like that late on in his career, going in with somebody who's far bigger than him naturally. And on paper, it looks like he wouldn't have a chance because of that size differential. But we might be surprised.
According to Froch, these signs point to a fighter who might be past his peak and simply looking to cash in before retirement. With over 60 professional fights under his belt and a career filled with lucrative paydays, Froch questioned why Canelo is even still competing, especially when faced with a dangerous challenge like Crawford.
Would you say that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are the biggest fight? Two of the biggest names in boxing, that's for sure. And Terence Crawford's unbeaten. Obviously, we know what Canelo Alvarez is all about. We know what he's done. If he retired tomorrow, then he'd go down as a ultimate, like one of the best to ever do it. And so it's big. I mean, you've got to try and compare it with something. What we're going to compare it with? Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. That's obviously a big fight for the Brits. We all want to see it. It's probably quite big in America as well.
Adding fuel to the fire, Froch didn't hold back when talking about how dangerous this matchup could be for Canelo. He believes it's entirely possible that Alvarez could lose, despite being the favorite. In his eyes, a Crawford victory wouldn't even be a major upset given how many fans and analysts already think Bud has what it takes to pull it off. Froch praised Crawford's mental strength, calling him a tough, confident fighter with a sharp boxing IQ. He also acknowledged that Canelo's ring experience and mastery of the sport are second to none, making this matchup all the more intriguing.
Really don't, although the Brits do want to see it because of the history of Ben Eubanks. So out of all the top fights that potentially could happen that I would want to see, and I'd think that boxing fans would want to see, especially boxing purists, it's going to be Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. It's got to be all day long. I mean, Terence Crawford is just an unbelievable talent, and we've never seen him beat. So when there's somebody who's unbeaten, you always want to see how they're going to cope with somebody who's potentially got a massive favourite. We saw what happened to Amir Khan when he stepped up from welterweight. He got absolutely ironed out. But that's sometimes what happens if somebody's smaller coming up to a bigger weight division. They get clipped on the chin. They're not used to taking that punch power. And up at light middleweight.
That said, Khan also admitted that Canelo's punching power is still a massive X factor. He suggested that even if Crawford is winning on the scorecards, a single power shot from Alvarez could change the tide of the fight. While Khan sees Crawford as the superior technician, he respects the game-changing power that Canelo brings and views it as a built-in escape route should the fight start slipping away from the Mexican.
But I do lean more towards Canelo in this one, even though Crawford's a very close friend of mine and helped me in my training camp for my last fight. But it's a hard fight to call because both fighters are at the top of the game. I think it's something that boxing's not seen for a very, very long time, where you've got two fighters. It's hard to say who's going to win. It is a 50-50 fight. Is it skill or power that's going to win, or is it skill or speed that's going to win the fight? We don't know, so let's see.
And just finally...
I'm definitely going to be there, though.
Oh,
sure
yeah.
You guys are going to be there as well.
There's a possibility that Chris Eubank Jr. could find himself in the ring with the winner of that. I mean, should that be his focus? How do you think he'd fare, or would you like to see a...
And there you have it. And as the countdown to Canelo versus Crawford continues, the stakes just keep getting higher, with legends chiming in, massive bonuses on the line, and two pound-for-pound greats set to collide. This isn't just a fight, it's a defining moment in boxing history. Who walks out as the true king? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Ring Rivalry, and where the fight never ends.